Beginning by taking a few deep breaths. And as you release the breath, you might want to just let go with a bit of a sigh. Allowing yourself to come to rest and let go of any tightness that you might be aware of in the body. And with every out breath, noticing where the body is still holding on, gradually letting go a little bit more and a little bit more every time you breathe out. And then lengthening very gently through the spine, just bringing yourself a little bit more upright. Or if your body's inviting you to lie down, maybe listening to that. Just making your body comfortable wherever it is. Softening through the shoulders. And if you're aware of any tightness in the shoulders or stiffness, maybe giving them a bit of a roll by bringing them all the way up to the ears on the in-breath and then rolling them back down on the out-breath. Nice big rolls. And softening the face. Softening the jaw. And the front of the body. As we find this comfortable posture that holds our practice. And our intention this evening is to do a compassion practice of taking in the good. And let's bring to mind why we're motivated to practice this evening. And also why a compassion practice might be beneficial not only to ourselves, but those around us too. And then finding the breath in the body. Just noticing where your mind goes as soon as we introduce finding the breath in the body. And then exploring the rhythm of your breath that's happening right now. Noticing the waves of breath across your body. And the movement of your body. The sensations of breathing. And just being with that for a moment. Just bringing a curious awareness to the breath happening right now in this body as the body breathes itself. And then as we move into our settling, beginning to breathe in a little deeper, allowing the breath to sink all the way down to the bottom of the lungs and the belly. And then allowing the breath to release for a little longer than usual. And we're going to breathe the body for the next minute or so. To help us do this, we might like to use counting. So as we become aware of the breath, feeling the body breathing in and feeling the body breathing out, you might like to breathe in on a count of 3 or 4. And then breathing out on a count of 3 or 4. So we're gradually making the in-breath and the out-breath the same length. Using phrases if you prefer. Feeling your body breathing in. Feeling your body breathing out. You notice the mind drifting away, caught up in any thoughts, nothing wrong, just gently guiding the mind back to the counting or the feel of the breath in the body. And paying a little more attention to the releasing of the breath. Noticing what happens in the body when we breathe out. Seeing if we can soften a little with every out breath. And then allowing the breath to go back to its natural rhythm, curious about what it does when we let go of the counting and the phrases, and we let go of breathing the body and controlling the breath. Curious about your body's natural rhythm of breathing. And then expanding our awareness to become aware of sensation across this body. As we become aware of sensations, tinglings, sparklings, maybe contractions. So we become aware of how this body feels in this moment. If there's any difficult sensations in the body, just gently breathing into them and breathing out from them into the space around, as if we're widening the space, giving it space to breathe. And bringing our curiosity to the feel of the body as it's connected to the ground beneath us. And the feel of the body as it's surrounded by infinite space. Becoming aware of smells and sounds and taste. As we become aware of information coming to us through our senses. Noticing what we can see, even if our eyes are closed. And then opening a little further into our present moment experience as we become aware of any feelings or emotions or a sense of mood we have right now. So we become completely aware of how it is to be in this moment, our own personal experience of this moment and all it brings. And seeing if we can just sit back in the body a little, let go, not wanting to change anything, and just allow everything to be just as it is. And just resting in that a while. And as we feel that unconditional support of the ground holding the body, Inviting the mind to rest a while with the unconditional support of the body. And you might like to find the breath once more as an anchor for the practice, as a place to allow a gentle focus to help us stay in the present moment, and as a place to come back to whenever the mind begins to drift. Just resting here for a moment or two before we begin taking in the good practice. Just resting with the breath, gently training the mind to come back to it again and again whenever it drifts off into thinking. And I invite you to bring to mind something recent, no matter how small, that's made you smile or that felt good. And it can be as simple as sunshine for those who've seen it today, as a cup of coffee, a message from a friend, a smile from a stranger, listening to the birds singing, all the new flowers and colours that are emerging. Just a small thing that's recently made you feel good, made you smile. Just allowing the thought of this to linger a while in your mind. And then with the in-breath, imagining that we're breathing it in, this feeling, however it's manifesting for you, this feeling of a smile or just a little moment of joy. Just imagine it, the feeling of it, just breathing it in. So we're making this little tiny event into an experience by recording it. So with every in-breath, like blowing on the embers of a fire, it becomes brighter, stronger. And as we breathe out, it begins to fill the body and spread across the body, as if we're applying some soothing balm or a healing light to the body, with the feeling of a smile or this little moment that made you feel happy. Just see if you can just linger with it, breathing it in, breathing out, spreads across the body, fills every cell, soothes the parts of the body that feel tired or achy, and spreads across our feelings, our whole being, soothing any edges of anxiety or stress. Just imagine as we breathe it in, breathing it out and applying it like a soothing balm to our bodies and to our whole being. Just being curious about what we can do with this one moment of joy as we turn it into an experience of goodness and healing. If there's any difficulty or obstacles to the practice, just gently breathing into those and breathing out to the space around with a sense of softening, giving it space, just allowing it to be there as part of your experience. And then when we feel filled up and maybe overflowing, taking in the warmth and the goodness, as if we've lit the fire, blown on the embers to make the fire burst into flames. And now we're just resting, absorbing the warmth and the goodness from this little moment when we felt good. As if we're resting in it. However it manifests for you, you might feel like you're surrounded by it. Might manifest as a feeling of warmth or light or a colour. If that's not happening for you, it's no right or wrong way to feel, no right or wrong way to do the practice. Just allowing it to unfold in your experience. Just imagining that we're just bathing in this healing balm, soothing balm, as it absorbs into our whole being. And we might like to share the feeling of this little moment with everyone here. 60 completely different little moments of goodness. 60 smiles being shared with each other. Just noticing how it feels to share and also to receive from everyone here. And then let's send the power of this combined set of smiles and moments of joy out into the world to touch the heart of all beings, that in some way they too may be touched by a moment of joy, in the wish that there might be peace in this world. Taking a moment to move or stretch your body very gently as you gradually bring yourself out of practice.